come on down to your mats if you're not there already, and find a nice seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, elevate the spine, closing your eyes if you want, releasing your shoulders and your neck. Ooh, I need to come to a modified position today because my hips are being funny. So as always, modify as you need to. Take a moment to settle into your mat, letting go of the day and of the week. Beginning to watch your breath. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Allowing your breath to stabilize. Allow your heartbeat to slow. If you'd like, setting an intention for your practice. But most importantly, focusing on you being on the mat right now. Letting go of whatever external thoughts, forces, energies, whether good or bad there may be. Let this be your time to focus on you, your mind, your body. Allow your head to drop forward, chin towards your chest, feeling a stretch in the back of your neck without rounding your shoulders, so you're still sitting tall through the spine. And allow your head to roll side to side, shoulder to ear, or ear to shoulder rather, ear to shoulder. And then if you'd like, making full circles, but be careful not to push your neck back too much. You can just tilt slightly up. You don't want to crunch your neck back and compress the vertebrae. We want to stretch. So your option, if you want to do little half circles, or if you want to do full circles, a few in each direction, whatever you feel like you need. And coming to a pause when it makes sense, after you've evened it out. Finding yourself again back in neutral. Turning your head side to side, over one shoulder, over the other shoulder. And again, just working your way back to center. Taking an inhale to extend the arms up overhead, press the palms together. Exhale, hands down to heart center. And fluttering your eyelids open. Let's bring hands to shoulders and roll the shoulders a few times forwards. And roll them a few times backwards. We'll be doing a fair number of vinyasas, chaturangas today, so I want to loosen up those shoulders. And then inhale, extend up. If you want, go ahead and interlace those fingers to stretch and grow tall, tall, tall. And then bend slightly to one side. So I'm on my knees, but most of you might be just sitting cross-legged, and that's fine. You should still just be able to lift up and over. My hip was being funny, wasn't wanting me to sit cross-legged right now. So I listened to it. I'm sitting like this. Over to the first side again, taking a breath into the ribs. Up and over to the second side again. Good. And back to center, releasing your arms down. And we're going to come down to our hands and knees. So as I said, we're going to do sort of a lot on our shoulders, our arms, lots of Sun Salutations. We'll be doing my Super Sun Salutation series, which should take the better part of the practice, and then maybe have some abs at the end. So to start, coming on to our hands and knees, so knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Careful not to lock out your elbows if you can. Engage the abdomen so the back is flat, so you're not just sinking down into your hips. Shoulders are pulling, as always, away from the ears, shoulder blades pulling together. And begin by warming up the spine. Inhaling, tilting the pelvis down, chest lifts, gaze comes forward. Exhale, pulling the pelvis under, arching up through the middle spine, letting the head drop to look at the navel. Working at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling. Doesn't matter how many you do. Just work with that breath and just do as many as fit in this time. Nice and slow and steady. Feeling that inhale and exhale, noticing the spine, noticing the ribs. And then after your last one, go ahead and finish in a nice high cat, arching that back up. And then sit back on your heels for child's pose, reaching the arms forward, head resting up down on the mat. Stretching the arms fairly actively, so you're getting a stretch to the shoulders. And let's just transition this to puppy pose. So coming up on your the balls of your feet and sitting back towards your hips, reaching the arms forward. So you're pushing the hips towards your heels, but they won't sit all the way down. You're reaching the arms forward. Your head may or may not be on the mat, but you should be feeling a nice long stretch through the spine. So from the fingertips, the arms, the shoulders, the back, maybe into the hips. Puppy pose is pretty active, because puppies are active, right? As opposed to child's pose where you're just relaxed and passive. I'm not sure what is so funny about everything I'm saying, but I have a highly entertained participant over here. Okay, we're gonna come up to downward facing dog. So pushing your hips up, jogging through, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Pressing opposite heel into the mat, warming up those hamstrings, the knees, the hips, the ankles. If like me, you were sitting in a desk all day, or when you were up, you were walking around in high heels like me, you're going to want to stretch out those legs a bit. And whenever you feel like you're done with that, go ahead and press both heels towards the mat. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. So as always, we don't want to press the chest towards the legs, but instead think about pushing the sit bones up to the sky. And as I said, we'll be doing quite a lot of these today. So at any point, take a break, come down to child's pose, come to all fours, your option. Go ahead and walk your feet towards your hands, coming to the top of the mat, letting the head hang over. And release and shake, letting it go. Bending the knees, dropping the hips, and let's roll up one vertebra at a time. Restacking. Take an inhale to extend the arms up, growing nice and tall, interlacing the fingers, coming up on tippy toes and stretching the whole body. And then releasing that down, finding Tadasana, so shoulders are rolling down and back, palms are facing forward, chest is lifted. Starting in our neutral position. So we're nice and tall and lifted through our spine, but not sticking the chest out, not arching the back. We want to pull that rib cage in. Pelvis is right under us, not tilting forward nor back, right in that neutral position. Slight engagement of the gluteal muscles, the thighs, the abdomen to keep yourself supported. And chin tucking slightly back towards the chest so we're not sticking our neck out and creating tension there. Hi, Joelle. Taking an inhale and an exhale. All right, so Sun Salutations. We'll be doing these in pairs as always, and everyone will be adding stuff to it. So, should probably work up a sweat if you're in a warm climate right now. So bringing the hands to heart center, finding that drishti point in front of you. And when you're ready, inhale, extending all the way up. As you exhale, hinge forward, long, long spine to release. Inhale, flat back lift, halfway. Exhale, release, hands to the mat. Stepping back, the right foot coming to a lunge on this side. So as always, have blocks handy. Some of you might find you need these on your lunges. You might need them for some other postures. I always encourage having a block or something similar handy. Pushing back through that right heel, so you're really engaging this runner's lunge. And then let's go ahead and twist here, leaving the right hand on the mat, lifting the left arm up. And we're going to make a few arm circles with that left arm, loosening up the shoulder. Maybe 3 in one direction and then reverse that and do 3 in the other direction. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing that hand down to the mat, step the foot back, coming to plank. Push up to downward facing dog. Inhale back to plank. And again, up to down dog. Inhale coming into plank. One more time, up to down dog. Inhale to plank. And we're going to lower all the way down to the mat, chest, chin, and hips. Hands stay where they are, feet release. Inhale up to cobra, exhale, release. And again, inhale to lift up, contracting the glutes to protect that back, and release. Inhale up, and release. This time pushing up and back, coming to downward facing dog. If you need to, jogging through those legs again, otherwise just holding down dog. We're gonna lift the right leg up, so it's a little bit of a kick, but I don't want you swinging and hurting yourself. So just lift the right leg and lower back down. Extend the right leg up and lower. We're gonna do a lot of sixes. This will be 6, so that's 3 and 4 and 5. Hopefully each one moves a little bit more. 6, hold that leg up, 3-legged downward facing dog. And now we're gonna hinge forward that 6 times. So knee to chest as you hinge forward, coming out over your hands, leg is lifted up off the mat, and then kicks back up to the sky. Hinging forward, exhale, extend. And 3, extend. 3 more times. And 2. Last one, hold that hovering position on your last one, and we're gonna lower that knee down towards the mat without touching. Lift all the way back up like it was hot. Lowering down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. This really works the abs. 3, 2. Last one, kick all the way up, 3-legged downward facing dog. Swing that right foot forward, coming to a lunge on this side. Again, grabbing those blocks to support you if you need. If you find that your leg isn't really bent and you're kind of arched over, that's when you want to use that block. If you can bend that knee and have a nice long spine, you might not need them. Keeping the left hand in the mat, turning, extending the right arm, bringing the gaze up to it. Circling that arm one direction. Big circles as you inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, reversing that direction. 2 or 3 on each side, or each direction I should say, and then bring the hand back to the mat. Step the left foot all the way forward to meet. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, extending all the way up and diving right back forward again for the next side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time step that left foot back, coming to your lunge on this side. Keep the right hand in the mat, open up to the left. Gazing up at that left arm. And then place that hand back down to the mat. Step the right foot back, coming to plank. Pressing up, downward facing dog. 3 times just like we did before. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Last time. Inhale, plank. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Hands stay right where they are. Lift up to cobra on the inhale and release down. Remember, elbows by the side, shoulders back, and release. Let's do 3 and 2. Last one, hold that cobra if you can. So maybe a little bit of a lower cobra, baby cobra, elbows by the side, shoulders down, feet relaxed. And release that down. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up, kick the leg up and lower down. So I say kick, but I don't want you using too much momentum because I don't want you to hurt yourself. I want you to stretch that leg up and lower down with control. 3 more times. And 2. Last one, leaving it lifted, pushing that right heel into the mat, really extending that left leg. Same thing as we did on the other side. We hinge forward, come out over the hands, and then kick that leg back up. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to extend. Inhale forward. Exhale, extend 3 more times. And 2. The last one, holding, hovering, lower that knee almost to the mat and then lift all the way up as if there's fire under you. Lowering down and lift. Lower and lift. 3 more. 3, 2. Last one, kick the leg up and back, 3-legged downward facing dog. Swinging it forward, planting it down, lunge on this side, pivoting, opening the right arm up towards the sky. Again, hand on block by all means. Bring that right hand down to the mat, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, extending all the way up. And exhale, Samastiti, hands to heart center. That completes round one. Second round, inhale, extend. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release, hands to the mat, right foot steps back, release the right knee down into the mat, hands behind the left knee, hinging forward for 6 times. So we're just gonna press into our lunge and then release the stretch. Nice and slow and controlled, just to really, I wanna increase your flexibility with these. So we do this moving stretching. So nice and slow, feeling in that right hip flexor. I was aiming for about 6. On that 6th one, go ahead and hold the position. Option here to extend the arms up if that works for you. Option to bring the gaze up. Good, releasing hands to the mat. Again, block's really helpful here for our half splits. We're gonna hinge back into those half splits and then rock forward. So 6 of these, hinging back, extending that right leg, and rock forward. The blocks could be wherever you need for your hands, fairly close to your body. And again, we're going to do 6 of those and then hold that stretch for a moment. The more you flex that left foot and straighten that left leg, the deeper this stretch. It's really tough on tight hamstrings, so be gentle with yourself. Couple of breaths here. And then working your way back up, planting those hands, step that left foot back, coming to your chaturanga. We're going to hold this for 10 seconds. Nice breaths. Lowering down, your option to go all the way to down to the mat and then cobra, or those of you who want, flipping your feet, coming up to your up dog with the hips lifted, more advanced. Pressing back to your downward facing dog. If cobra is a challenge or hurts your back or feels like you're working, just stay in it, stay with it. Up dog can end up doing more harm than good. Extending the right leg up, bend the right knee, drop the right foot towards the opposite side, lifting up through the right knee to really open up the hips and pelvis here, and then extend the right leg straight and bend it back. Extend and bend. Kick it out and back in. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, pivoting, so you're back at center. Now we're going right knee to right elbow. So opening that hip, hinging forward, right knee to elbow, and kick back up. 6 of these. Hinging forward and extend. Coming forward, knee to elbow. 3 more times. Inhale forward, exhale back. On the last one, just like before, knee comes to elbow, hovering there, and then lower that knee down to the wrist and lift it back up. Drop it down and lift. This is core strength, ladies and gentlemen.
And you don't like push-ups and you can do this?
I can do push-ups, I just can't
No, I
do
say you
lines of
don't
them.
like.
Who likes push-ups? Extend the right leg high overhead. And then swing that right leg forward, releasing the back knee onto the mat, hands behind the right knee. Who likes push-ups? No one likes push-ups. Anyway, crescent lunge, hinging forward and lifting up. So remember, we're working here. This is what we're trying to stretch. That knee will start to maybe track out over your toes a little, but it's still staying pretty close to over the ankle. And again, doing about 6 of those, and then holding the stretch. Hands can stay here on that thigh, or you can extend the arms up. Taking a couple of breaths. And then hands find the mat, step the left foot. Oh no, I lied. Splits, sorry, my bad. Half splits. Grabbing your blocks if you need, and then rock forward. Extending the leg and rock forward. So starting with some dynamic movement, waking up that muscle. And then after you've done about 6 of these, holding the stretch so that we increase flexibility, reduce risk of injury. Flexing the foot, extending the leg, option to bow down like I'm doing, dropping knee towards, nose towards knee. You don't need to. Take a couple breaths. Good. Rocking forward, stepping the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up and right to the other side. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. This time stepping the left foot back, so that's what we just had back. Coming right up to that crescent lunge. Inhaling to extend the arms up overhead. And now we're going to do lateral pull down. So you're just going to pull those arms down, pulling shoulder blades together and extend back up. Pulling down. Imagine you're pulling tons of weight down. You can actually do toning without actually using weights. My goal was about 6 of these. Go ahead and release forward. Come one more time to that half splits position. Just taking a couple breaths. We won't have movement this time around. And then coming forward, plant the hands, step the right foot back, 10-second plank. Always dropping down to knees if you need to on these planks. Lowering all the way to the mat up to cobra or hovering in chaturanga, flipping the feet, rising up to your up dog, curling the toes under, pushing back, down dog. Left leg extends up, dropping that left foot towards the opposite side, lifting through the left knee. And then we're going to extend the left leg and bend it back in, kicking photos off the wall. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. 3 more times. 3 and 2. Last one. Bring that leg back to center, extending up, hinging forward, left knee to left elbow, coming out, left knee, left elbow, open the hip, and kick back out. Hinging forward and extend. Of course, if any of these get too much, you can do fewer of them. 6 is an important number in yoga. That's why I chose 6 today. 2. The last one, knee to elbow. And then lower that knee down to the wrist and press back up. Lower down, lift up. And 3. And 2. And 1, kick all the way back up. That is a killer for your abs. I hope you're feeling in your abs because that's what it's meant to do. Swing the left foot forward, planting it down, releasing that back knee. Hands to the thighs, hinging forward in our crescent lunge. Extending the arms up just like before, lateral pull down. So pull the elbows down, goalpost position, extend back up. 5. And 2. Last one's hands to the mat, hinging back, extend that foot, releasing down in our half splits. Holding here, a couple of breaths. Rising back up, stepping the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center, samastiti. Inhale, extend up, and then let's come to our chair pose. So hands come to heart center, sitting down and back, pushing the hips back. So chair, Utkatasana, is one of these horrible postures in my estimation, but it's super good for you if you're doing it correctly. So really push those knees and the hips back. What tends to happen is we come forward over our toes. And that's not going to work your muscles and it's going to hurt your joints. We don't want that. You should really be feeling your glutes and your thighs working here. We also don't want to be bending from the waist. So really see if you can sit up tall. And then think about pulling your belly button in. And you can't see yourself necessarily, but we don't want to be sticking our butt out and having an arch in our back. So see if you can tuck that pelvis under. And if you do have a mirror, take a look and just look, because seeing yourself sometimes can help you then find it in your body. If you want, extend those arms. Take a breath. And forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. So hang here for a moment. This is your power option. So you can either on these next two step back with the right foot followed by left, or you can jump back. So I'm going to hop back, bending the knees, placing the hands on the mat, hopping back to plank. And this time we're going to go ahead and add a side plank. So I'm going to go to the right side first. I'm facing you. Right hand to the center of the mat, rolling over onto the right foot. Remember, you can always drop down to that right knee. Otherwise, it's right foot, left foot stacked, or left foot in front of right. And if you want, I'm going to give you some movement to add here. You can crunch knee to elbow and extend. Knee to elbow, and of course we'll do 6. Knee to elbow. 3, 2, last one. Go ahead and extend that left arm. Bring the left foot down, and we're going to twist. So bringing that left arm under the body and twist back up. Under and extend. Twist. So it's not a big whole body twist. Really just the arm. The gaze goes 2. Last one. And bringing that hand down, coming back to your plank position. Lowering down all the way, or chaturanga, up to your cobra or your up dog. And pressing back, downward facing dog. All right, so you know what's coming. We're going to go across the body. But before we do that, I'm actually going to give you the option of flipping the dog. Those of you who like to work in Wild Thing, this is more intermediate, so it's your option. Extending that right leg up, bending the right knee. So you can just stay here. If you want, you can bring that right foot to the floor, coming to Wild Thing. So left leg extends, right leg is bent, lift the hips up. Reaching, extending that arm up overhead. And then we're going to flip back over, extend that right leg up. Then we're going to come across the body. So right knee, coming to left elbow. And extend back up. Bringing that knee across and extend. Across. 3 more times. 2. Last one, you know what's coming. Hover, knee to wrist, and zip it back up. Lower and lift. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, and then kick the right leg out in front of you. We're going to come to fallen triangle. So you're rolling onto your right hand, right leg's extended, left foot on the mat. Push that left arm up, push the left hip up. Fallen triangle. Coming back around, going to give you a break. Bring that right leg across, relax down into pigeon. So extending that left foot behind, right knee in front, right foot in front. Not everyone finds pigeon relaxing, so if you don't, it's okay. Sitting up nice and tall, chest lifting. So your body is sinking towards the mat just as it's lifting away from the mat. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths. If you want to fold forward, you can, but it's just a momentary breather. Giving that hip a second. All right, don't want the heart rate to slow down too much. Curl the toes under you, push yourself up and back, 3-legged down dog. And then we are going to bring this foot forward and plant it and rise up to our high lunge. Hands at heart center, toes are forward, heel is lifted. We're going to do our little lunge dips here. So what you do with your arms is your option. You can always hold on to something for stability. You could have them at heart center. I'm going to do some chest press. So I'm going to bring my hands, my arms to like a goal pose position. But what I want you focusing on most is what's going on with your legs. You're bending the back knee, knee towards the mat, and then coming straight back up without tracking over toes. So let's do 5 more. And 4, the lower you go, of course, the harder it is. 3, 2, 6 isn't enough of these. Let's do 10. 1, so let's do 4 more. 4, I could make you do 12. 3, 2, last one, high lunge. Transition this to warrior 1. So planting your back foot, hips are forward, arms extend. Chest and gaze are forward. Opening this up to warrior 2. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Gazing out over your hand. Holding for a few breaths here. Reversing your warrior, left hand behind the back, right palm flips up. Keep the bend in the knee as you open up towards the sky. Good. Pivoting forward into our power lunge. So your heel lifts, your toes are forward, your spine is long, and your weight is on your front foot. This is also in the challenge category option. I'm going to move back so I don't go completely off frame. We're going to launch up into our warrior 3. Arms extended, leg extended. Option to just balance here, or if you're stable, bringing knee to elbows and extend. Knee to elbows and extend. This one we will just do 6, 4, 3, 2, last one, rising up, keeping that leg lifted. Another option for hip opening here, bringing that left foot across the thigh and then sitting down into it. So we're combining balance with hip opener, with some glute work. You could do flying pigeon here. I'm not going to demo that right now, but if you want to, go for it. And then coming to chair. So putting that left foot down, extending up, sitting into our chair. Can you sit a little lower? Can you lift the chest a little higher? Are you sweating? I'm sweating. Here we go, second side. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Stepping left foot followed by right, or hopping 2 feet back, coming to plank. Side plank, left hand comes to the center of the mat, rotating over, picking your variation on side plank. Feeling free to hold it here, or knee to elbow, and extend. Crunch in, extend. And 3, and 2. Last one, placing that right foot down, right arm extends, twist it under the body, and extend back up. 5, exhale, twist. 4, inhale, extend. Exhale, twist, inhale, extend. 2, last one. Bring that hand back to the mat, coming back to plank, lowering down, chaturanga, up to your cobra or your up dog. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Left leg extends, bending that knee. Option to stay here in your hip opening stretch. Option to flip the dog, bringing the left foot to the mat, right leg extends, pushing the hips up. Flipping that back over, left leg extends again. Sorry, I slid too close to the wall. And bring the left knee to the right elbow. And extend back up, 5 more. Coming across, extend. 3, 2, 1. Knee to wrist, zip it back up, lower down, and lift. Lower and lift. For 3, for 2. Last one, kick that left foot out, rotating over onto the left hand, fallen triangle on this side. Hips push up, gaze goes up. And bring that hand back, dragging the foot back, coming to pigeon. Extending the right leg long, lifting up nice and tall. So again, chest nice and tall and lifted, at least to start. if after you get as low as your body can get to the mat, between your legs, if you want to roll forward, you certainly can. Taking a few breaths here. Letting the heart rate slow just a bit. And curling those toes under, pushing up. Bring that leg up and back, and then planting it down, rising up into your high lunge on this side. So deep bend in the front knee. Back leg is stretched. Same option for your dips. I'm going to do the chest press again. Your option if you want to bend the knee and the arms or just do the leg. Really focusing on dipping straight down and straight up. That's 3, 2, last one. Transitioning to warrior 1. Back foot plants, hips are forward, gaze is forward. Opening this up, warrior 2. Bending the front knee. Back, right hand behind the back, flip the front palm up, reversing your warrior. And then coming back to center, pivoting towards the front of your mat into your power lunge. Back foot is lifted off the mat. So when you're ready, you can launch into your warrior 3. Right foot extended, arms extended, staying here, or if you want, crunching it in for 6, 5. Exhale as you bring it in, inhale, extend. 3, 2, last one, rising up. Bringing that right foot across the thigh, finding your balance. And then if you want, sitting down into that to open up the hip again. Lying pigeon if you did on the other side. I'm way too sweaty to do that right now. I would just fall right on the floor. And coming back to chair. Hands at heart center, sitting down in your chair. Let's do our chair twist. So get as low as you possibly can in your knees. I'm going to turn towards you. So I'm going to bring left elbow up, right elbow to the thigh, and really twist. If I can sink low enough that my right elbow can slide and I can still keep my chest open to the side, then I can do that and bind. What's most important here is the twist. Also notice one of your knees may have shifted in front of the other because your hips might have shifted. See if you can square them. See if you can bring your knees back parallel to one another. And bring that back to center. Chest lifts. Bend the knees, hips drop. Lift up from the chest, not just the head. Good. And turning to the other side. Left elbow on the thigh, or whichever side you're going to. Opposite elbow up. Really twist, opening that body to the side. And then if you want, sinking lower and lower and lower. Maybe that arm slides down the legs. Trying not to shift your knees and hips. Good, and then releasing that forward, forward fold, extending the legs, letting it go. Bend the knees and roll on up your spine. Good, step to the long edge of your mat so you can still see me. Turning toes out, coming down into your goddess position. So again, pushing the hips back, knees over ankles. What we don't want is to be dropping forward. So you're really trying to lift up through the chest, push back through the hips, dropping as low as you possibly can. Bring the hands behind the head. Stay nice and low in that squat. And then bend to one side and lift back up. Bend to the opposite side and lift. So we're getting a nice lateral spinal bend here. But of course we're working all kinds of things too. We'll do 6 each side, so that was round 3. Exhale as you bend, inhale to center. Exhale to bend. And last round. And back to center. Can you drop a little lower? And then straighten the legs, pivot forward, toes forward, and release all the way down. Grabbing hold of your ankles, calves, or toes. Pull the crown of your head down. Releasing the arms and just let the body go. Bend your knees enough so your hands can find the mat. And then heel toe your feet in and work your way down to a low yogi squat. So, all the way down here, option of course to sit on a block. So we want to try to sit tall here. You don't want to be bent over. That's more important than having your heels on the floor. So if your heels are lifted, or if you're sitting on a block, that's fine. Sit up nice and tall so you can breathe. Your arms can press against your thighs to open up your hips a bit. And take some nice breaths. Really important posture. It's really good for your knees, your hips. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to release this and just come on down to the mat. So releasing down, extending your legs. I'm going to spin back around so I'm on the regular orientation of my mat. You decide. Shake out those legs. So we're going to do a little stretching here. So if you want to use a strap, you can use a strap. You can hold on to feet or toes. I like to put a block in front of me because it gives me something further to reach for. Inhale, extend up. That's if you're more flexible, use the block. If you're less flexible, maybe use a strap. Lift and grow tall. Hinge from the hips, long, long, long straight spine. Imagine I'm holding your hands and I'm pulling you forward. And then when you can't reach anymore, let those arms drop, grabbing hold of whatever part of your leg they're by, or the strap if you're using a strap. And gently pulling yourself down, taking some breaths, allowing yourself to melt into the stretch. And then releasing out of that, bringing yourself up. Let's bend the knees. So, sitting up nice and tall to start. Long, tall spine and chest. Always feeling free to hold onto the backs of your thighs for support. Option is to extend the arms in front of you. And then we're going to hinge back and catch yourself. So belly is in, chest is lifted, arms are lifted. Just like we do in the hundreds in Pilates, we're going to pump the arms here. Why? Because it's destabilizing our body. And then you have to use your core to keep yourself stable. You can just do long inhale, long exhale. Could you balance a glass on your knee? Could you balance something on your chest or on your belly? I mean, gravity be working against us because we're at an angle. But are you stable? Try to stabilize. Let's do one more round. Next time you exhale, pause with the arm movement. Bring the hands to heart center. If you want, you could even use the block here. I like to press against the block, but you can just have your hands in prayer. And we're going to twist and twist. Inhale to center, twist and twist. Inhale to center. If you want to do mouth breathing here, that'll give you more spinal engagement. This isn't yoga at this point, so you can certainly do that. Purists would say what we did before wasn't yoga. I like thinking of my version of yoga. My version of power yoga. Inhale to center. Make sure you're even. Finish on the opposite side from where you started. And then release. Last thing here, lift up one leg. And lower down. Lift up the other leg. And lower down. Lift up and hold. And lower. Lift up and hold. And lower. The last one, lift up and hold. Lift up and hold. And then bring the other leg to meet it. Are you still with me? Someone's not. We're going to do 6 of my little crunches here. So going from this version of half Navasana to the low version of half Navasana. The alternative is always to work with your feet on the mat. Ready? So we extend out to our low Navasana, and then we come back up. Or you extend down and just roll back up. Extending out and in. 3, 2, last one. Go to your low position, whether feet on the floor or not, but chest is, or head is lifted, shoulders are lifted, legs are lifted or bent and on the floor or tabletop. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Little power ab finish. Bring your knees close to your body, or your feet close to your body rather. Lift the hips up. Press the hands into the mat. Take a deep breath into your abdomen, expanding your ribs. Letting it go. Option to come up on the balls of your feet, press up a little higher. Inhale to lift. Exhale, let it go. And lowering that all the way down. Hugging the right knee to the body, extend the left leg long. Really squeeze that shin in, really push the opposite leg away. If you got a workout buddy, you can have them help you with this stretch. Then you have to exchange and you have to do it to the other person. That's even nicer.
Yeah, come on.
And then bend the left knee, cross the right ankle across. So we've done a few different versions of pigeon. This is our final one. So you can stay right here, just pushing the knee away from the body to open up the inner thigh there. Or if you want, lifting that left leg to deepen the stretch. Sweat is pouring off my body, just so we're clear. I'm really hot. I worked hard too. And place that foot on the floor. Cross the right leg all the way over. So we're going to do our twist from here today. So it's all the way twisted. All the way across. You'll feel here a little bit more in your left hip. So just make that more. Come all the way to your left hip. Right hip is in the air. And then let those knees drop down. And then you decide what you want to do with your arms. I'm a fan of cactus. Extended is classic. I have a wall. I can't do extended on this side. Turning your head, looking over the right shoulder. The idea here is to bring your right shoulder into the mat and your knees into the mat. So if your right shoulder is not in the mat, sometimes it's nice to put a block under your knees. Bring that right shoulder to the floor and then let your knees be where they need to be to accommodate that. That's going to help you twist more. Because the more you just kind of roll onto your side and that shoulder comes up, the less your spine is twisting. So take some nice deep breaths here. Good, and then come back to center. Recenter yourself on your mat. Hug both knees into your chest. And coming to the other side, so the left shin comes in, right leg extends, squeezing that left shin, giving yourself a stretch. Couple long, deep breaths. Bending the right knee, crossing the left ankle across it. This is also a good option for people who don't like pigeon. You can always do this figure 4 when a teacher has you doing pigeon. pushing that left knee away, and then if you'd like, lifting the right thigh up. And then bringing that right foot to the floor, cross the left leg over. Same thing here, so lift up and shift, so the right hip is on the mat, left hip is in the air. Drop the knees to the floor or to a waiting block, bringing the left shoulder to the mat, and turning and looking over the left shoulder. Taking some breaths into that spine, which is twisted and compressed, compressing on your lungs. And that's okay. We're building lung capacity, lung strength. And bring yourself back to center. Once again, hugging both knees into the chest, giving yourself a little rock. Transitioning this to happy baby, reaching in between the legs. I can't remember if I told you all last week, I was super proud of my niece because she found happy baby for the first time. And then she put her foot in her mouth. Apparently she put 2 feet in her mouth this week. So it's an improvement from last week, even if I shared that silly anecdote with you. But it's one of my favorite postures because it is really funny that babies actually do this. I mean, some of the yoga postures don't make a whole lot of sense, but this is one that it is really funny that babies really do this. But that's because it's good for them. Babies know what's good for them. That's why they take full deep breaths. That's why they laugh no matter what. They cry no matter what. They fart no matter what. They know what's good for them. Bring the soles of your feet together. So if you fart during yoga, it's okay. Release the feet down to the floor. I am entertaining my companion endlessly. Let's get serious. Yoga's serious. You're not allowed to have fun. We're gonna come to your final relaxation. So my hips are really being weird today, so I'm gonna give them some stretching and I'm gonna stay here in a Baddha Konasana. You can extend your legs in Savasana. You pick whatever posture works for you. And then close your eyes and bring your attention once more to the breath. Watch your breath, inhaling and exhaling, and just give yourself this time to relax. And allow your breath to deepen again. Beginning to recharge and reawaken those muscles. Coming out of Baddha Konasana if you're in that. And wiggle your fingers and toes, and roll your wrists and ankles. Roll your head from side to side. And then rolling onto one side, or if you want, just rocking yourself up to sit, finding a seated position, just like we did at the beginning of class. Keeping those eyes closed if you're comfortable doing so. And we're just going to do a really short few breaths, just a calming breath. So the idea of this is a 3-part breath. You breathe into your chest, into your ribs, into your abdomen. So it's just one long, steady breath, and we're going to hold and then let it go. So it's just an inhale. Hold it for a moment. And then as slowly as you can, let it go. Through nose or through mouth. Whenever all the air is out, take a deep breath again. Inhaling. Chest, ribs, abdomen. Hold it for a moment. And then exhale as slowly as you can. If you want to blow it out through your lips, you can do that. One last time, deep breath, chest, ribs, abdomen. Hold it for a moment. And then slowly let it go. Bring your hands to heart center, palm to palm. Take one more moment to connect back into yourself, your breath, your body. Reminding yourself of your intention, and then letting it go. Letting go of your practice, but taking with you the energy, hopefully the joy, the peace that it brings with you. And share that energy with all those who you meet. The light in me acknowledges and honors you, and the light in you. Namaste.